Hello again, 102ers. If you're watching this video or even part of this video, then I'm happy. I know that these things are not as exciting as the big budget action adventure films, but you just got to get it done. I mean, be ready. The way I figure it is if you were in my face-to-face section, you'd be sitting there listening to me for over 160 minutes cover the course in 2 days. This way, you've got what, 20 minutes or so? You can do this in a week, right? Let's do it. As always, let's start with a quick view and spin through of this week's announcement. As you can see, this is what it's going to start to look like from here on out. We're going to have a recap of week 1 up here. We're going to have kind of a telling you what you're doing in week 2 here. And then usually I have something here saying, pretty pleased with sugar on top, watch my video. Oh, look, there's the video. And then there's the video chapter listing in case like you want to skip over all this stuff and go right into like, oh, here's the assignment. Click. Okay, we can watch that. The preview is basically what's coming up. You're going to have your exploratory research essay assignment coming up very, very quickly. And you can look ahead to see what's going on. You have the directions and sample right here. These are so key. If you use the directions and sample, there's no way you're not going to do well on the paper. If you skip it, I'm sorry. Then we've got what to read for the week. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 documents. And each of those documents has videos that I did not make. As you can see, they range from 1 minute and 13 seconds all the way up to 10 minutes. I don't expect you to watch them, but they're there if you'd like to. And then we've got 2 assignments for the week, again, due on this date by this time, okay? Now, going back, we can take a look at what we've got for the course schedule. We can do that by clicking on View the Course Schedule here. We open up to this, and then scroll down to week 2. As you can see, week 2 concludes the night before Labor Day. The college will be closed that day. And technically it's closed, I think, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. But since you're an online class, just get the stuff in. So we've got those 4 documents right here, which we're going to go over very, very quickly, and then our 2 assignments, all right? So instead of dragging this out, let's just jump right into it with choosing search terms for sources. So here we go. Fantastic. It's a quick shot of understanding as to where to start with search terms. Truthfully, I'm not too keen on this page. Some of the information is nowhere detailed enough, and some of it is antiquated and incorrect. So let me give you some ideas. The research plan here is a solid one with a couple of tweaks. You've already selected a debatable academic topic, and you obviously must read more about that topic. Your research questions must be developed and listed, and then you create the search terms to look for sources. Well, see the problem with that? In order to read more about the topic, you have to search for the sources. So how can you read in step 2 and search in step 4? Basically, you need to select the topic, generate the research questions, get those search terms, and then find the sources to read. Once you do that, you can go back and ask better questions or revise the old ones and redo the process all over again. It's a lot more cyclical and less only 4 steps. All right, so the next part of this, well, I disagree with this almost completely. First, there was a search engine in the days before man went on social media called Ask Jeeves. And the only way to get what you wanted was to ask Jeeves, who was a cartoon butler, by the way, sort of like a really dorky Alfred from Batman. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, yes, that's him. Pip, pip, cheerio and all that. And yes, friends, this was a real website. This was the real logo for that real website. Ask your parents or maybe grandparents. Ask them if they remember Ask Jeeves. If they say, yes, of course, then congrats. Your mom or dad is a dork just like me. In any case, you would go to that website and ask a literal question, people. Just because Jeeves has long since retired does not mean that you still can't ask questions if you can't get started. The point that whomever wrote this page is trying to get across is that the volume of words that you use within the search will affect the returning results. The more you put in, the less you get back. The less you put in, the more you get back. Why? Well, the search looks for all the words mentioned. So if a search is too specific, you're going to miss some things. If you put in medical practice Gettysburg, you might actually get results telling you that the Gettysburg Medical College also practices golf on Thursdays. You'd also have to add words like keywords, maybe like Civil War in quotes, and then take out certain things, like adding a hyphen for minus and the word golf to eliminate that result. These are called Boolean operators. You can put a plus sign or a minus sign or the words and or to maintain and manipulate the results accordingly, as you can see right here, okay? And then underneath, there's the absolute need by one instructor for you to use Credo, even though it's my least favorite of all the database engines we have. You're 100% welcome to use it. I showed it to you last week, but you are not required to do so. I think SIRS is much nicer. Next, we have finding sources on the internet. It's pretty basic, but it's necessary to remind you of one of the most important rules to look for anything on the internet. Just because you can find it on the web does not mean it's true. Please remember that. So anyway, this page here is to keep you, well, on target. Remember that just because you can find it with a few clicks does not mean that it's worthwhile. I would recommend watching the video on these Google search tricks because, honestly, it's kind of helpful. A lot of you just kind of go to Google, type in something, and expect it to be done. That's not how Google works, though. You can get a lot more information there. Did you know that there's actually a second Google search page? Yeah, not many people go there. In any case, we have a lot of stuff in here, like you can use the site operator. You're looking for specific sites, only .govs for this, only .edus for this. So using the site operator really is helpful. You can actually limit it to a specific site, like NewYorkTimes.com. All right. Then we can use the and or the or operators, combining search operators here. You're looking at only .govs for childhood obesity and food stamps. Technically, you should be putting childhood obesity in parentheses or in quotation marks, as well as food stamps to keep them together, like this down here. So, what are some helpful websites? Well, we have that list right here. Statista, The Economist, Harper's Magazine, and I'm not going to read them all to you. That's ridiculous. You can read them yourself. The one thing I do want you to notice, though, is we're going to be talking about a few of these in a little bit. Just remember that. We've got some governmental websites that are going to help you. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention used to be a really good site. Not anymore. I wouldn't necessarily trust them too much. Down here, though, we have a problematic websites listing, which, honestly, I have a lot of problems with. Number one, Wikipedia. Wikipedia is not a problematic website. It is a tool that is misunderstood and misused, but it's a good place to get a general understanding of your topic. Don't be afraid to go there because your high school English teachers yelled at you and they were just lazy about it, truthfully. Don't ignore the fact that you can get a nice general understanding of the way things go in Wikipedia. I've always said that think of Wikipedia as a diving board and the internet is a swimming pool. You don't want to walk to the edge of the diving board, stand there, and stop. You use it to propel yourself into the swimming pool. Use Wikipedia to go further into the actual internet, okay? This website, I actually can tell you, I agree with. I hate it. Procon.org is literally a this or that webpage. It gives you no arguments whatsoever. It just gives you both sides of the discussion, and it honestly doesn't do much beyond that. So I would skip over that completely. University Wire is not bad, but it's not a great place to find the best research. This is all university student writing, so it's not necessarily the best research place. Personal blogs and websites, of course. These are things that people write on. Dear Diary, I don't care. You're going to hear me say this a lot. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you feel. I don't care what you believe. I care what you can prove. If you can't prove anything, then your opinions don't matter. Okay? So therefore, personal blogs and websites should go away. Commercial websites are a little bit different than what your high school teachers understood. Commercial websites are websites that are designed to sell things. And obviously, if you go to Burger King, they're not going to try to tell you how good the Big Mac is. They're going to tell you how great the Whopper is, okay? And McDonald's is only going to tell you how wonderful the Big Mac is, and they're going to tell you how terrible the Whopper is. But commercial websites are more than just .coms. You want to know how I believe that? If you scroll up here again and take a look, we have nytimes.com. We have Newsweek.com. We have popsci.com. psychologytoday.com. Just because it's a .com does not make it a bad website, okay, everybody? Excellent. So pay attention to what it is, understand what the differences are, and why sometimes your high school English teachers were just kind of afraid of the internet. Next website we have here is Finding Journal Articles. This one will not be long, I promise. I think it's a long-standing misconception by students and teachers alike that source material has to be incomprehensible and lofty to be any good. Don't get me wrong, there are many, many absolutely brilliant sources out there in the world that are superbly written, impeccably researched, and beautifully peer-edited. They're amazing compliments to anyone's research. But when do you actually need them? So right now, you are enrolled in what amounts to a freshman composition course. This is practically the same course that you would have at any accredited college anywhere in this country. You are learning how to put this material together, and you are learning how to make your voice heard. What you do not need are these amazingly intricate academic journals that are geared towards those in master's and doctorate level programs. It would be like asking my fourth grader to read To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. While he might be able to get most of the words right, he probably wouldn't be able to grasp the threads between the ideas. It's not because he's not smart enough. It's because he doesn't have the necessary experience yet. So what I'm trying to say is this. I want you to research your topic academically. I want to see you dip your toe in and wade into the databases to find all of these journals. But don't expect to have immediate comprehension. There are these things that you really have to work at to understand. So you can say, oh, Mr. Christopher, I found 2 articles here on pulsed field ablation helping arrhythmias from the Journal of the American Medical Association and the New England Journal of Medicine. I'll say, wow, that's fantastic. Explain them to me. I'm not well versed enough to understand the top 2 medical journals in the world. Can you help me? Then, after your jaw gets picked up off the floor, we'll try to find more accessible source material for you to use. All right, folks, we're going to end up with evaluating sources here. Okay, now we click on that, get to here, and the scholarly sources here are sources that are written for a high-level audience. So this stuff here, you can read this. High-level audience, understood. They're edited by experts in the field. They're published in recognizable sources. They're the best of the best, but they're not always the best for you. Remember the example I just used about my 4th grader reading To Kill a Mockingbird? Well, try this one. If you find an article that's said to be brilliant, but it's written in Swahili and you don't speak Swahili, what good is it? Use sources you can understand and sources that fit with your audience's awareness. Now, I would like to spend the rest of this page talking about CRAAP. No, silly, not poop, CRAAP. And not even just simple crap. I'm talking about CRAAP. Hey, what good is a semester without a good poop joke, right? I mean, am I even teaching if I didn't go there? Anyway, CRAAP is the acronym that you probably learned in English 101 that helps us to determine whether or not a source material is worth our time or not. In short, is this source crap or not? There are 5 elements here. The first one is currency. It's got nothing to do with money. It's got to do with the timeliness of information. Now, I'm going to tell you now. I will repeat it later. Your source material must be 5 years or less. Stick your hand in front of your face with the 5 fingers outstretched. Put your pinky down. That was 2026. Put your ring finger down. That's 2025. How about your middle finger? 2024. Your pointer finger? 2023. So now your thumb is the last year you're allowed to have, which is 2022. So therefore, nothing older than 2022. And look, there's 4 questions you can ask to prove the currency. Then we have relevance. Honestly, is the material good enough for your needs because it actually makes sense with your topic? Again, 4 questions that you can ask to figure out, hey, does it match with what I need? Authority. Talk about who wrote it, who published it, where was it seen? And this is going to help you decide whether the people who wrote this are experts in the field or not. Accuracy, very easy. Is it true or not? That's simple, right? 5 questions here, 5 questions under authority that I didn't bring up. And then purpose. Purpose is very important, okay? Why was this source written? There are 3 general purposes, and I want you to remember PIE. The food, right? PIE. Persuade, inform, entertain. Persuade, inform, entertain. Is this source there to convince you of something? Is it here just to impart knowledge to you? Or is it there to make you laugh, cry, or angry? All right? As you can see, all of these bulleted questions on the right-hand side, these are all questions that you can use to answer in your evaluations for your upcoming paper. It's that easy, okay? Now, there's more on the CRAAP test down here. If you're not completely sure you understand it, there's video here, 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 and here, all which came from the Delaware Tech Library System. So it is indeed made for you. Wonderful, isn't it? Okay, enough of that. Let's get to the homework for the week. 2 assignments. The first is the second part of the discussion board that you completed last week. And now I'd like you to take the feedback I gave you last week and settle on the topic for this week. As now, clicking on here, and you can see here I'm actually giving you, again, 3 things that I want you to focus on. And then, of course, I give you a sample. Oh, wow, look at how pretty it is. All right. As you can see, this sample here, you can emulate it. You can copy the entire thing and just change your answer or my answers to your answers. It's easy, okay? I want you to explain why you want to go with the topic that you chose. It's not good enough to tell me what it is. You'll hear me say this a few more times, but giving me the what is not good enough. I need the why to truly help me understand the idea. Details, details, details. Once you're done with your initial submission, answering all of these questions, you are going to want to go back and comment on at least 2 of your peers' posts. Again, I don't want you to say, hey, wow, that's great, or, oh, that sucks. Tell us why you like or don't like the topic. Give me a few sentences, not just like 1, okay? That will be very helpful. So once you're done, you post it here. We'll take a look at it. Bob's your uncle. Off you go. Then we can go back and take a look at the big assignment for the week, which is the Unit 1 progress checkpoint for the exploratory essay. Now, I kind of reformatted it. It's okay. But we're going to click on here, get to this, and you can see here that I want you to download the Unit 1 Exploratory Research Planner document, which kind of looks like this. It's beautiful. It's 5 pages, but that 5 pages, my friends, is formatting. Once you start typing, you're not going to see a lot of work being done here, but it's going to really organize your thoughts, okay? So, I want to go through it really quickly, make sure you understand it. General topic, tell me what you decided on, okay? Down here, you're going to start explaining exactly what the answers are to these questions that I've asked you. As you can see, I've split each section up into paragraphs. Here's our introductory paragraph. Here's our research methodology paragraph. Give me a minimum of 3 questions related to your topic that created avenues of research for you to follow, okay? Where did you search for the sources? Literally, did you go to a database? Did you go to Credo? Did you go to SIRS? Did you go to EBSCOhost? Did you go to Google? Did you go to Google Scholar, okay? What were the search terms that you used? Literally, I want to know literally what those search terms were. Then down here, these groupings, so we got 3 blocks here. They're all going to be paragraph 3. I want the rhetorical information right here. Author, date of publication, title of article, where you got it from, what the URL is. Down here, I'm trying to show you the sentence frame for the first sentence of your summary of the article. In the article, title, published in or on, date, located in, where'd you get it from? The authors, who are they, provided that thesis statement, right? So we have title, date, location, authors, thesis statement. Wonderful, isn't it? That's all that needs to go there. Perfect. And then down here, what was the overall view of the author? Were they pro or con? What is 1, 2, 3 major details? And honestly, as you can see here, we have the associated citation, author's last name, year, and then where you got it from, either a page or a paragraph number, depending on whether or not there's page numbers printed. Okay. Once you get through that, I want you to evaluate the source using the CRAAP test. All right. How does it answer your current research questions, or does it? Then down here, talk to me about the currency, relevance, authority, accuracy, and purpose. Remember those those questions on each side? Some had 4, some had 5. Yes, 4, 4, 5, 5, 4. See, there's one hiding here. So go back and ask these questions for these evaluations. If you can give me answers to like 2 or 3 of those bulleted points, you're never ever going to see the word details in the feedback. I'm going to say it's fantastic. All right. What are the strengths of the source? What are the weaknesses of the source? That's basically how you finish that evaluation. And then it's so nice, we've got to do it twice. Give me a second source and do the exact same thing with it. Finally, we're going to do our research reflections. Answer these questions. What kind of materials do they both share? What kind of insights have you gained? What did you learn that you didn't already know? What did you get corrected on that you thought you knew? Were there any elements to the topic that you expected to find but didn't? All of these questions are going to help you write that paragraph. And then finally, we have our conclusion, showing you exactly kind of how to put an end to it. All right. Give me some references, and I do even have a link down here to the Purdue OWL. Let's see if we can do this really quickly on the video. Oh, look, we can do it. The Purdue OWL will open up, hopefully, before I have to keep stalling. But this comes from Purdue University, and you can actually look up how to do APA right here. So go to the style guide, and you can see the references list, the basic rules, and so forth. Okay? Excellent. Awesome. Fantastic. Let's keep going. In any case, if you have any questions or concerns about this week's assignments, please email me early. I hope you're watching the video early in the week rather than Sunday night, because I'm not going to be answering emails until Monday morning, and then it's too late. All right? All right. I've been using this for a while. I want to say this as M&M, but I'm not completely sure. Anyway, there's a lot of material this week. Masquerading is not a lot. Told you. It's still shorter than last week by about 7 minutes, so I'm really getting better. So anyway, have a great week. Reach out if you need me. I'll be looking forward to seeing you and your ideas for the exploratory essay. Have a great week.